All right, Agnes, thanks for joining me. You're out in Florida, right?
Yes, Florida, sunny Florida.
Sunny Florida, and you've got a question for me in real estate. Go ahead.
I do. I have a question for you. I wanted to know, how do I find the best deal there is on the market right now?
Oof, I like that one. In fact, that's what we're going to be talking about in today's YouTube video.
One shot, now the future is yours. Go! I'm turning dreams into reality. Yeah, it's one shot, now the future is yours. Go!
All right, check it out. So today I'm having a conversation with Agnes. She's right here on Zoom, and she's brought up a really important question. How do you actually find the very best deals out there, and how do you get to them before everyone else does? Because I think we all know that there are really good deals out there, but guess what? If someone else gets their hands on it first, then you lose out. Check it out. We live in a very inefficient market. Unlike the stock market, which updates in real time across the nation, the housing market is made up of many emotional buyers and sellers, and it's highly inefficient. However, in every market, whether it's up, down, or sideways, there are always ways to come out on top for those who know how to play the game. And Agnes, I gotta tell you, I've been playing the game of real estate hardcore for the last 20 years. And you take a market like 2008, the last time we had a recession, and that was a really exciting time for me because everyone said this is the worst time to be in the game of real estate. You shouldn't buy real estate. And I went to the markets that were the hardest hurt. Vegas literally was crippled. Phoenix was hurt. Florida was hurt. What did I do? I went into those markets, and those new homes that were selling previously for $300,000-400,000 grand, I was buying them up at auction for $100,000 or $150,000. And within the first 5 years, I made over $100 million for my investors in just appreciation gains because the market had to come back. We had to keep making babies, and as population increases, the demand for real estate demands that we build more houses. So whether the market is up or down, and right now we're in a softening of the market, got to tell you, Agnes, this is an easier time for you to win in the game of real estate than it was 6 months ago before the Fed started increasing the interest rates. And I'm going to show you 3 ways of making that happen. All right, so let's actually talk, Agnes, about all of these motivated sellers because guess what happened? The market has softened, the Fed has increased the rates, and if you look at 2 years ago, rates were around 2.8%. Now they're sitting over 6%. So people are gun shy. They're nervous and they think, uh-oh, this is the end. I bet pricing is gonna go down, and especially if there's builders out there, people that have done spec builds, people that were building not because they wanted to own real estate, they were building because they were hoping to make money selling real estate, or the other people that were the end buyers of real estate were like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna buy this after it's built. Well, guess what? Those rates went up. Their mortgages cost them $500, $1,000, $1,500 more than they thought. They can no longer afford that real estate. So now all of a sudden they become very motivated to offload that real estate. That means that in this kind of market, which is softening and going down, for an investor, this is an easier time for people like you and I to crush it in the game of real estate because now we actually have an environment for finding really, really good deals. Do you have any questions based on what I just shared about that first strategy of looking for motivated sellers, someone that all of a sudden says, well, I thought I wanted real estate, but the market conditions have shifted, rates have gone up. Now all of a sudden I don't want it and I need to get rid of it.
I guess my question would be, realistically, do you go door to door? Do you get a really good real estate agent who knows what you're looking for? Do you just get people, of media, or like how do you know who's the motivated seller?
Yeah.
How do you know who is willing to sell at that price below?
Yeah, it's such a great question. So I use 17 different methods in the markets that I buy in for basically finding really good deals. But I'm going to share with you probably the easiest one for anyone to use. One of those 17 methods is to actually use the MLS. So this is where realtors list houses, and it's like, okay, Kris, but there's a lot of homes on the MLS, so how would I find a really good deal? Well, you can specifically do a search for people that have done price drops. And price drops means someone had listed their home for, let's call it $400,000, and then all of a sudden they just dropped it to $380,000, and then 3 days ago they dropped it to $360,000, and yesterday they dropped it to $340,000. Well, what I know is that 2 months ago this person hoped to get $400,000 and it didn't move, so they've been dropping it. Now they've dropped it where it's $60,000 below. If I do a search in the last 24 hours for where there's been a price drop, there's a really good chance I'm going to identify a motivated seller. And that's just one way of doing it.
That's good to know. That's really helpful.
Yeah, and by the way, it's one of the easiest strategies. And so while there's a lot of others, there's direct mail, and it could be like literally driving for dollars, like looking at places that are boarded up or signs for sale. But the MLS, if you're wicked fast and you look at it every day for those drop prices as well as new listings, the other thing that I really like to do is I like to do a rapid calculation of price per square foot. So let's just say a house is listed for $200,000 and I know that it's 2,000 square feet. 200,000 divided by 2,000 square feet is $100 a foot. Well, shoot, I've been doing that calculation, and on the last 20 homes, they're all around $100 a foot. $100 a foot. This one was $97 a foot. This one was $103 a foot. They're all around 100. And all of a sudden, I calculate one and it's $71 a foot. Holy smokes! I might have something here. Something is off. And now I know I should do a CMA, a comparable market analysis, and have the realtor run the numbers to find out if in fact there might be a whole bunch of equity in this deal. It's probably a motivated seller and it's someone that's trying to get rid of it really quick. All right, check it out, Agnes. My second secret for finding and identifying a really good deal is to make sure that I'm buying and looking for properties below the median. According to Redfin, the median home sales price is $369,000. It's up 6% year over year when you look at it over time, but it's dropped significantly as the Fed has increased rates. By purchasing homes below the median, what you end up doing is lowering your risk of losing money in a market correction and increase the odds of capturing appreciation. So for me, the price point matters a lot. Hey, Kris, I found this house. It's worth $1 million and I can get it for $800,000. I'm so excited about this purchase. And I'm like, well, if I were you, I would be terrified because as the market softens, that $800,000 house might go down to $600,000. And now you're going to find yourself upside down $200,000. It's no longer worth that $1 million that it was before the market shifted and changed. Well, if $1 million can drop value that fast, so can $500,000. But as you approach the median around $300,000 or less, you're going to find a lot of safety. In fact, my average purchase price last year was around $220,000. And that means that as the market is softening, Agnes, I am not personally experiencing the property values actually going down. That's happening in the higher price range. This is one of the secrets to being able to buy whether the market is going up or especially when it's going down. You got to get in at the right sales price. All right, Agnes, any questions on that?
Is there a formula or a strategy that you use saying this is how much below the market value I want it to be at when you're buying that property?
Yeah, so here's where my personal formula is. Right now, they're saying according to Redfin that the median is $369,000, but I actually don't do my calculations based on that. What I do instead is I ask myself, what should the median price be? You see, it's been going up 4.6% year over year for 65 years. But in the last 3 years, we've seen some astronomical jumps. And I believe that the market has to correct to what will end up averaging out to what should be an increase of only 4.68%. So for me, the median shouldn't even be over 300,000 while they're calling it 365 when just a few months earlier it was over 400,000. I'm currently treating the median like it's right around 300,000, and I like to buy 25% below the median on average. So my formula is that's why I'm targeting $200,000, $220,000, $240,000, because think of the median kind of like, hey, this is the average purchase price for the average person. So anything above that, you're going to only have a few people that can buy over that, but below that, you're gonna have a ton of people. If I'm 25% below that, I'm now playing in a category where the majority of people buy real estate. And guess what? That's my sweet spot on American Dream real estate, that if I do a short-term buy and hold in a rent it out, I'm gonna find the most number of renters. I'm also gonna find the renters that can pay a pretty penny. They actually make really good money. That's my sweet spot for keeping it safe. Agnes, today probably the best secret that I can give you, the third secret, is when you buy real estate, you wanna buy in the very best of markets. Check it out. Out of 324 US metropolitan areas, only a few of them have the best cash flow, have the best appreciation, and have the best tenants. So analyzing the markets using these three factors will ensure that you have the best odds of maximizing your returns. And this may or may not surprise you, but out of 324 markets, there's only 5 that I'm currently buying in, and one of them happens to be in your backyard. I'm actually buying in the Orlando, Florida area. That is still for me today one of the best growth markets that you can be buying in. Now let me ask you, what part of Florida are you in right now?
I'm in Wesley Chapel, which is right around Tampa. So I'm about an hour and a half from Orlando.
So Tampa, Sarasota, they're both really great markets. And if you go a little bit more inland, there's all sorts of macroeconomics why we like to be in the Orlando market, why we see the greatest cash flow, why we see the greatest growth. So that's actually not too far from where you live.
So once you find that deal, right? You find the deal and you're thinking this is the deal. How do you secure that deal?
Yeah, so Agnes, the secret is you got to get that home under contract. But if someone else recognizes that it's a good deal, someone else is also going to submit an offer. And then that buyer's going to say, I must have done something right on the pricing here because now I've got multiple offers to consider. This is how I recommend you play the game. You call the realtor and you have them talk to their realtor and you say, hey, I've got someone who's interested in the property. And what they do is they're going to actually find out some information like, what's the real price that you need? This is what we're thinking of offering. And what happens is we actually make a verbal offer. And from realtor to realtor, you can often find out exactly where the price needs to be so that when we submit our offer, we're going to tell them that they have like 12 hours to acceptance or 24 hours, not 48 hours or 72 hours. We're going to give them a short leash. We're going to come in with a number we know they're comfortable with, and we'll often get picked first ahead of everyone else because we're applying the most pressure. But through the phone conversation, we've already learned where they need to be, and that's how we're going to win.
How do I make sure that I'm the first one to get to that deal?
Great question. So my secret is what I call being wicked fast. Like it really is a game of speed at the end of the day. And if you're playing the game on your own, what that looks like is you've got to have a realtor if you're using that MLS strategy or if you're using direct mail or the other strategies, and you've got to be really looking at the market each and every day. I'm staring at the market, thousands of homes all of the time, waiting for a price drop, something to shift, something to change, make an offer. Speed is really how you win the game. But there's even a faster way, which is you partner with someone that is playing the game every day that is even faster than you. So Agnes, I have people that actually all over the world, including Florida, will actually partner with me. And I've got a team of 200 experts that all they do is hunt down the very best deals for me. So technically, in my opinion, the very fastest way to play the game is if you click the link below this video and learn about partnering with me. You're gonna find that I can send my team in. We're always scouring the market for the best deals. And if you're my partner, we will buy that house together that meets my ROI requirements. In fact, over the last decade, I've been averaging a 34% average ROI. And that means that a single house over 20 years can be multiplied into many millions of dollars, technically $17 million if I earn that minimally year over year over year. And with that kind of track record, there's a lot of people that are attracted to that level of partnership. And so they'll come in and actually partner with me 50-50. They'll put up the money from a 401k, an IRA, equity in their home. And then my team will go to work doing what we do best. And at the end of the day, we're doing so well and there's so many profits. We're the fastest to the game and we're also making the most money possible. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, definitely. Thank you. Thanks for answering my question.
Absolutely, 100%. Thank you. All right, Agnes, it's my turn and I have a question for you. First of all, do you want to partner with me?
Yes, I'd love to.
What's up? And you might want to partner with me too. Click that link below, learn about partnering. Agnes, question number 2. Would you like to know the other hot markets that I'm investing in right now?
Yes.
If you want to know where those markets are, click this video right here. Let me show you the top 5 markets where you want to be investing right now. You're going to get the highest ROI possible. Let me show you how to win.
Well, thanks for having me on.
Yeah, 100%. Well, the world will be seeing you on YouTube with your brilliant questions. And then as my partner,
Awesome.
feel free to reach out